Welcome back to the Wealthy Good Life podcast.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be diving into something that I think is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It's this whole thing with the millennials and boomers and how they're doing with their money.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the whole, okay, boomer and avocado toast thing. But
Yeah.
are millennials really in as bad of a spot as people are saying?
Right.
Or is there something else going on here?
Well, I think there's definitely a lot of assumptions being thrown around out there.
Right.
But the reality is a little more complex than that. I mean, there's even some data that might completely change your mind about all this.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
Lending Tree, they actually did a study
Okay.
where they were comparing the net worth of millennials.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just so you know, those are the people aged 26 to 41 back in 2022.
Okay.
And they were comparing them to where boomers stood financially in 1989 when they were the same age.
Got it.
And guess what? Millennials actually had more money.
That's right.
Yeah.
The study found that millennials had a median net worth of $84,941.
Wow.
While boomers at the same age, and of course we're adjusting for inflation here,
Right.
only had $58,101.
Okay, so that's a pretty big difference.
Yeah, it is.
So it's not like things are perfect for millennials or anything.
Right.
But it does make you think twice about that whole idea that they're just falling behind.
Absolutely.
Like across the board.
It's not quite as simple as some people make it seem.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point.
Yeah.
It seems like everyone's always ready to kind of write millennials off, but this data is telling a different story.
Exactly.
Now, we do have to be careful here
Mm-hmm.
because this is just one study.
Sure.
And, other research might find something different depending on what they're looking at specifically. There's not a total victory for millennials,
right,
but it's definitely food for thought.
Definitely something to consider.
Yeah, for sure. And, the thing is, things have changed a lot over the years.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, financially.
The financial landscape has shifted dramatically.
Yeah, there are so many things to think about now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as simple as it used to be.
And one of the things you can't just look at is income.
Right.
I mean, some studies are saying that millennials might actually be making more money overall
Really?
than boomers did when they were the same age.
Ah.
But does that tell the whole story?
That's what I was thinking. Like, even if you're bringing in more money,
Right.
it doesn't mean you're actually wealthier.
We got it.
Like, there are other things to consider.
Exactly, because you might be making more,
Yeah.
but if your expenses are through the roof,
Totally.
it doesn't really matter.
Exactly. And that's a big part of the difference between these two generations.
That's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
Because millennials are facing way higher costs for things that are absolutely essential, like just basic things, housing and healthcare. Yeah.
In fact, healthcare spending for millennials is more than 3 times what it was for boomers
Oh my gosh.
when they were the same age.
No wonder millennials feel like they're always struggling to keep up.
It's a huge burden.
Yeah, and it's not just healthcare.
No.
I mean, rent is another big one.
Absolutely.
Millennials are paying something like 60% more on average
Yeah, it's a significant difference.
than boomers did back then.
It really adds up.
So it's like, even if they are earning more,
Right.
they're getting hit with these massive expenses that are just eating away at their ability to build any kind of wealth.
Exactly.
It's like running up a down escalator,
I like that analogy.
Yeah, and we haven't even touched on student loan debt yet.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole other beast.
I know. If any of this is sounding familiar
Yeah.
and you're feeling like you need some help figuring out how to navigate all this crazy financial stuff,
Mm-hmm.
this whole world we live in, head over to wealthygoodlife.com.
Good idea. We've got tons of resources and tips
Yeah, we do.
to help you build a life that's both wealthy and good.
That's what we're all about.
Yeah, exactly.
So student loan debt, that's a huge burden for this generation.
Oh, it's insane.
It's delaying their ability to save, to invest, to buy homes.
Makes sense.
There's even some research that suggests that millennials who graduated with student loan debt
Okay.
might be earning the same amount
Wait, what?
as someone who only had a high school diploma back in 1989.
You're kidding me. So you're telling me that all that time and money
I know, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to believe.
that you put into getting a college education might not even lead to you making more money because of the debt.
It's a real problem.
That's crazy.
It's a complex issue, of course, and there are a lot of factors involved.
Right.
But it does highlight how different things are for millennials.
Yeah.
It's not as simple as saying,
right.
oh, they're not working hard enough or they're not making smart choices. Yeah. The economic landscape has shifted and they're facing a whole new set of obstacles.
It's like the system is rigged against them or something.
It can feel that way sometimes.
Yeah, but you know what? Even with all these challenges, there's another thing that people often say about millennials.
What's that?
They're incredibly resourceful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is a generation that's known for its adaptability.
Yeah.
Its entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
And its willingness to embrace new ways of working and earning.
I love that.
They're not afraid to like hustle and think outside the box and find creative ways to solve their financial problems.
Yeah.
In fact, some studies show that millennials are actually saving more for retirement.
Hold on, really?
Yeah.
I thought we were supposed to be the avocado toast latte generation.
Right.
The ones who can't save anything.
Yeah, that's the stereotype.
So are you saying we're actually better at saving than our parents?
Well, it's not necessarily about being better savers.
Okay.
It's more about like adapting to a different situation. You see, boomers, they often had pensions, which gave them a guaranteed income in retirement.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But millennials, we're mostly responsible for our own retirement savings. We rely more on things like 401ks and IRAs.
Oh, so it's not that we're like super disciplined or anything. It's just that we have to be.
We have to be more proactive because we don't have that safety net.
Right. Like we were just thrown into the deep end and told to swim.
Exactly. And it shows how resilient this generation is.
Yeah, I like that.
They're dealing with a whole different set of rules and expectations, but they're figuring it out.
Yeah, they're making it work. Feels like millennials are always having to figure things out on their own.
It's true.
Whether it's saving for retirement or finding a place to live that they can afford or dealing with those student loans.
Right.
It's a lot. What about that whole great wealth transfer thing?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's talking about that.
Yeah, big talk.
Is that going to be like the big financial win for millennials?
Well, it's true that there's a huge transfer of wealth coming as boomers pass on their assets to their kids and grandkids.
Right.
And that's definitely going to change things.
Yeah.
But we have to remember that it's not going to be evenly distributed.
Right. Not every millennial is going to be inheriting a fortune from grandma and grandpa.
Exactly. Inheritance is complicated, and some millennials might not get anything.
It's true. And some might even have to help their parents financially as they get older.
It goes both ways.
So the wealth transfer might help some people.
For sure.
But it's not a guarantee.
It's not a solution.
Millennials still have to be proactive and build their own wealth.
Absolutely. And that's where their resourcefulness really comes in.
I love that about this generation.
Yeah.
They're embracing entrepreneurship and side hustles and trying out new investment strategies.
They're not afraid to try new things.
Yeah, they're not waiting for someone to hand them success.
They're creating their own opportunities.
That's so inspiring. You know, if you're feeling inspired to take control of your finances and build a life that you really love, make sure to check out wealthygoodlife.com.
That's the place to be.
Yeah, we've got resources, tips, a whole supportive community to help you out.
We're here for you.
Yeah, it's all about taking those steps.
So this entrepreneurial spirit and this adaptability, this is what could actually help millennials not just overcome the challenges, but maybe even end up wealthier than previous generations.
Oh, that'd be amazing. So like they're creating a whole new playbook for finances.
It really is a new way of thinking about money.
And millennials are the ones writing it. But what does all this mean for our listeners?
Well, it means that, yes, the challenges are real. We can't ignore that.
Of course not.
But it's even more important to focus on the opportunities.
Okay.
It's about changing your mindset
Okay.
from scarcity to abundance.
I love that. It's about not letting like the headlines and all the doom and gloom get you down.
Yeah.
And focusing on what you can actually control.
Absolutely.
What you can create and what you can achieve.
It's all about empowerment.
Yeah, exactly. It's about tapping into that millennial resourcefulness and using it to build a financial future that's both secure and fulfilling.
You can have both.
You know, and here's the thing. Even though millennials are facing all these unique challenges, they also have some unique advantages.
That's a really important point.
Yeah. I mean, this is a generation that's super tech savvy.
Totally.
We're globally connected and they're comfortable with change.
They're used to things changing quickly.
Yeah. They're adaptable.
Yeah.
And they're good at finding creative solutions.
And those are really valuable skills.
Especially in today's world.
Yeah. The economy's changing so fast.
It's crazy. So maybe instead of seeing all these challenges as roadblocks,
Right.
we should be looking at them as opportunities.
I like that.
For innovation and growth.
Yeah, turn those challenges into opportunities.
Like, how can we use technology to create new ways to make money?
Exactly.
How can we use our entrepreneurial skills to build businesses that solve real problems?
Those are the questions we should be asking.
And I think we're already seeing millennials doing this.
Oh, absolutely.
In some pretty amazing ways.
They're building online businesses. They're investing in crypto. They're creating whole new industries that didn't even exist a few years ago.
It's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
They're not just participating in the economy.
Right.
They're shaping it.
They're the ones driving the change.
Yeah. And that's really exciting. And, that brings me back to something you said earlier.
What's that?
About shifting your mindset from scarcity to abundance.
Oh, yeah. That's so important.
Yeah. It's about believing that there's enough for everyone, that there are tons of opportunities out there.
Limitless possibility.
That you have the power to create the life that you want.
You're in control.
Exactly. And I think that's such an important message
for
everyone, no matter what generation you're from.
It's a universal truth.
So much of our financial well-being comes down to our beliefs.
Absolutely.
And our attitudes.
Your mindset shapes your reality.
If you think you're going to struggle, you probably will.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
But if you believe that you can achieve anything, then the possibilities really are endless.
The sky's the limit.
I love that. And you know what I find so inspiring about millennials?
That's that.
Is that they're not letting all these challenges define them.
They're not giving up.
They're using them as fuel to create a better future. For themselves and for the generations that come after them.
They're paving the way.
It's like they're writing their own financial rule book.
And that's powerful.
So if there's one thing you want our listeners to take away from this deep dive, what would it be?
I'd say don't let the headlines and the stereotypes control your financial future. Embrace your resourcefulness challenge, the way things are done, and believe in your ability to create a life that's both wealthy and good.
I love that.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for some guidance along the way, make sure to check out wealthygoodlife.com.
We've got your back.
We've got tons of resources, tips, and a supportive community.
We're here to help.
To help you build the life you deserve.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the financial world of millennials and boomers.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you learned some valuable insights and that you're feeling hopeful about the future.
There's a lot to be hopeful for.
Remember, your financial destiny is in your hands.
You have the power.
Go out there and make something amazing happen.
I can't wait to see what you do.
That's it for this episode of the Wealthy Good Life podcast.
Thanks for listening.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep striving for that wealthy good life.